Hello, I'm doing turkey meatballs with, instead of using bulgur, which is wheat, I'm using buckwheat, which is a gluten-free grain. And this is how the buckwheat comes. These are called the organic white buckwheat. So I have buckwheat. For the meat, I will have these spices. There's coriander and cumin. There's basil and oregano. A touch of cayenne. A little bit of turmeric. But then I will start with a saute mix, which I'm going to use 2 kinds of onion, garlic, ginger, and fresh turmeric. So first I'm going to start with the red onion. And the buckwheat, as you see, it's cooking right there. And it's pretty nice. I thought it's going to stay whole, but it's giving a nice creamy texture, so I'm very happy with it. I usually heat up the pan and then I put the onion. I don't put the oil right away, so the onion can cool down the pan, and then I will put the oil so it won't burn and turn into toxic. So I've got some garlic that I will chop here and add to it. I'm just going to cut them in half, and this is a nice size garlic. It's up to you how many cloves or how much garlic you're going to use. That's totally optional. I like to use a lot, so I'm going to use a few. This is my garlic. Pour it in the pan. And then the onion, the second type of onion. These are the tops of the green onion. This all is going to give a lot of flavor to the food, because I will, after I make the meatballs, I'm going to brown them in this mixture and then add the whole mixture into the buckwheat. So there's more onion. Now I like to shred the ginger, and I'm using the small shredder. It helps so that your ginger won't vanish. When I do the large one, it sticks all over this, so nothing is left for me to use. But with the small one, it's much better. So that's our ginger. We're going to put that there. And I like the fresh turmeric. You can see after I shred it, the beauty of the color. Look at that. It's beautiful. You can also leave it room temperature and let it dry, both with ginger and turmeric. They dry pretty good. They don't go bad. That's what I do. And when I make my spices, I freshly shred with this little gadget. It's very useful, believe it or not. I have my salt here, so I won't forget to put salt in the food. I always forget. I'm going to put some salt right now in the meat also. One more thing I like to put is pepper in the food. So I'll use half of this. The seeds go to my compost. Perfect. Sometimes they grow, actually. They will surprise you, and you will have a pepper plant. Hopefully. I had one that I planted from these kind of seeds. This year only one grew. Planted so many seeds, and I have only one pepper plant that finally showed up. But my cousin told me that peppers take a long time, the seeds, so I guess I was impatient. Now we're going to put the spices in here. Cumin, coriander. I have about a teaspoon. And oregano, basil. I always like to use some turmeric. It's really good for the health. Cayenne also helps you to your enzymes and the whole digestion system to start working and being happy. Well, I will eventually use my hands, but first I'm not going to use my hands yet. I do have some fresh basil, so I'm going to grab that. I have basil that is seeding. I like the seeds. They're not ripe yet, so they're soft. When they are ripening, they're yellow and dry, and then you can grind them in the coffee grinder. If you have one just for the spices, of course, not one that you do coffee. And so I have a lot of basil, but I'll just do this little, since I had dried basil in there. And the seeds actually have the most flavor. Seeds are really powerful. So when you use the seeds, it looks like you used a lot of basil. Now, this meat is pretty lean. It looks like it's, yeah, it sticks. So I'll make these balls while my onion and pepper are, you can make them all perfect the same size if you want. So they all cook the same time, but they're going to cook for a while anyways, so I wouldn't worry about it that much. And this was turkey thighs. They have more flavor. You can do turkey breast. It will be a little bit drier than the turkey thighs. Okay. Now on the stove I have a few things cooking. You'll see a bunch of stuff. This needs to saute a little bit more, but what I'll do, so I don't have to wait, this is what I always do, just clear a space and let everything work together. So these I'll just brown them on both sides and then add some tomato paste. Make it nice and beautiful color. If you have fresh tomatoes, you can definitely do fresh tomatoes. That will work even better. I don't today for cooking. I have to get a good bargain on tomatoes to use them for cooking. And they have to be really ripe so they don't, because if they're not ripe, they're useless to use them. No color will show up. So I will show you after I add everything to my pot, because this mixture with some tomato paste will be added to the buckwheat that looks like it's fully cooked, because everything looks puffy and opened up. And the lid would be good. After I put this, I'll put the lid on so the water won't evaporate, since I need a little bit of juice. This is kind of like a meatball soup. and I will show you in a few minutes how everything will look like. I added tomato paste and also some water. After the tomato paste was cooked a few minutes, you add water. At this point, you can also cook some pasta if you want, and these can be a meatball with the pasta. But like you saw, I was cooking this buckwheat, and I put some celery and carrots also. I'm gonna add this mixture. So this is a meatball soup. We Assyrians, we make it with cracked wheat, bulgur, and we call it kufta. It's a really Assyrian food, very famous, every Assyrian loves kufta. So instead of using wheat, I use the buckwheat, which is gluten-free. And instead of using beef, I use turkey, which is fine. So this is our kufta now. Enjoy and have fun cooking.